Good day, viewers. Welcome to another edition of the Daily Strange Stories. I'm John Brown. Our lead story for today: why and how drug cartel boss Katiso Molefe paid for DJ Sumbody's murder. He was shot 48 times. In the shadowy world of Johannesburg's underground dealings, a chilling tale unfolds through hidden WhatsApp conversations and secretive bank statements, exposing how alleged drug cartel leader Katiso Molefe orchestrated the deadly ambush that claimed the life of popular music figure Opa John Sefoga, popularly known as DJ Sumbody. These digital trails paint a picture of careful planning, where Molefe, a businessman with deep ties to illicit trades, allegedly funded a hit that saw DJ Sumbody and his two bodyguards riddled with 48 bullets from an AK-47 rifle. The attack happened on a quiet corner in Woodmead, turning a routine night into a scene of calculated elimination, all linked back to disputes over missing drug shipments and rivalries in the entertainment scene. As investigators pieced together the puzzle, they uncovered how Molefe's payments flowed through cash deposits, rewarding those who carried out the grim task, while ballistics evidence tied the weapon to a string of similar tragedies. The story begins with the fateful events of the 20th of November 2022, when DJ Sumbody, fresh from a performance at a local venue, drove through the upscale Woodmead area in Johannesburg. Unknown assailants, armed with precision and heavy firepower, opened fire on his vehicle at the intersection of Woodmead and Woodland drives. The barrage of 48 shots left no survivors. DJ Sumbody, along with his bodyguards Sibusiso, Mokoena and Sandile, Myeza, perished in what authorities described as a meticulously planned contract killing. The motive, according to investigative findings, stemmed from the murky realm of drug trafficking, where a massive consignment had vanished from police custody in KwaZulu-Natal years earlier, only to resurface in Johannesburg's club circuits. This lost shipment, valued at millions, ignited a feud among powerful players, drawing DJ Sumbody into the crossfire when he became entangled in efforts to handle or distribute the goods. Katiso Molefe, a 61-year-old entrepreneur from Sandton, emerges as the central figure in this narrative, accused of masterminding not just this incident but a series of targeted eliminations. Court documents reveal how Molefe, who operates businesses in financial insurance, real estate, vehicles, logistics, and construction, allegedly used his resources to hire operatives for these acts. His involvement came to light through a web of cell phone records and financial transactions that investigators meticulously analyzed.
We are linking them to at least 10 high-profile cases where this one AK-47 is being linked to, but there could be other cases that could be added as investigations is ongoing. We are continuing, and it's not only the firearms that we are linking. There's all other evidence that we are taking into account when we are obviously working on this particular case. So we are working together with the NPA, because in every step of the case we do consult, and we then obtain the necessary J50 warrant of arrest and we execute them.
Just one day after the shooting, WhatsApp exchanges between the alleged gunman showed them anxiously awaiting payment from a contact referred to as K or Pafa, nicknames that authorities connected directly to Molefe through data extracted from his own phone. These messages highlighted frustration over unanswered calls and delays, with one participant noting that Pafa had gone quiet, underscoring the tension in the aftermath of the deed. Bank statements provided further damning links, showing unusual cash deposits into the accounts of the accused shortly after the event. On the 24th of November 2022, one of the suspects deposited 100,000 rand in cash, while others followed with sums like 10,000 rand and 56,000 rand over the next few days. Cell phone tower data placed these individuals near Molefe's residence around the same time, suggesting in-person meetings to settle the accounts. This pattern of communication and money movement repeated in other cases tied to Molefe, painting him as the financier who ensured loyalty through prompt rewards. His role extended beyond mere funding. Investigators believe he possessed intimate knowledge of the victim's routines, allowing for the precise timing that characterized these operations. The connections deepened with the murder of Hector Buthelezi, who performed under the stage name DJ Vintos, a close associate of DJ Sumbody. On the 15th of March 2022, at around 1:30 a.m., Buthelezi was gunned down outside the Shopto Shop pub in Orlando, Soweto. Assailants in a BMW X3 fled the scene after the shooting, But WhatsApp chats from hours later revealed discussions of satisfaction from Pafa, with promises of meetings after the job. Similar cash infusions into suspects' accounts followed, mirroring the financial footprints from DJ Sumbody's case. Ballistics tests confirmed that the AK-47 recovered from one suspect's home matched casings from both scenes, linking the weapon to these and at least 8 other high-profile incidents, including attempted murders and additional killings.
At this stage, all those 4 firearms, including the one AK-47, is linked to at least 10 high-profile cases that include murder as well as attempted murder. Our team has been working tirelessly on this case. The Political Killings Task Team has been working closely with the Gauteng Organized Crime Investigations Unit. We now know that the same firearm that killed Aman Swart is the same firearm that killed DJ Sumbody and his 2 bodyguards. It has been quite a productive week. The SAPS members are on the ground continuing with their work to serve and protect the people of this country, as well as the SAPS Political Killings Task Team together with Gauteng Organized Crime. They are continuing with the work. So for now, previously I had indicated that we are investigating about 10 high-profile cases where these firearms are being linked to. So now we are at number 4. We are positively linking the AK-47 to the murder of DJ Vintos, Don Dindleni, DJ Sumbody, his 2 bodyguards, Sibusiso Mokoena, Sandile Myeza, as well as Aman Swart.
Molife's web of influence spread further, encompassing the mistaken identity slaying of Vereeniging engineer Aman Swart on the 17th of April 2024. Swart, a father of 2, was shot 23 times outside his factory workplace, intended as a hit on a whistleblower involved in exposing inflated Transnet tender prices. Molife faced arrest for this in December 2024, with evidence showing his text messages assuring bail for co-accused even before hearings, raising questions about his reach into judicial processes.
He was an engineer working at a Vereeniging firm, and he was shot 23 times on April 17. A car had pulled alongside his while he was waiting for a gate to open at his company, and they peppered the side of his car with bullets, and he died in his seat. 2 weeks before Swart was killed in a case of mistaken identity, the company filed a whistleblowing report with the Department of Public Enterprises, reporting mammoth price inflation on a Transnet contract. It turns out that this company is an original manufacturer of locomotive parts, and they picked up price discrepancies in products that they'd sold onto a middleman who was contracted with Transnet. For a nondescript spring, no bigger than the size of someone's finger, which they sell for R3.20, the same product was sold for R152 each to Transnet. The net effect of this is that what should have been a R25,000 contract morphed into a R1.2 million contract, and 2 weeks after reporting this discrepancy, Swartz was gunned down. In this case, the police were quick to act, and on the same day that Swartz was killed, they arrested 3 men, amongst them a 30-year veteran police officer attached to the Johannesburg Central Detective Branch.
There was a shooting incident that had occurred in April 2024, where Mr. Swart, a QTech employee, was fatally shot while entering the company premises. QTech has been a long-standing service provider to Transnet. Shortly after the incident, 3 suspects, including a warrant officer, a South African Police Service warrant officer, a detective Tau Pule, were arrested in Johannesburg. During the arrest, weapons that were used in this murder, which was an AK-47 and a pistol, along with cell phones, were confiscated. The KwaZulu-Natal Political Killings Task Team arrival, they took these weapons and they went and tested them. So they conducted a ballistic test in order to check whether these firearms were linked with that murder and many other murders perhaps that will have occurred in the country. On the 30th December 2024, the ballistic expert issued a ballistic report which linked these firearms not only with the murder of Mr. Swart, but these firearms were linked with a number of high-profile cases. And these cases include very high-profile South African artists that were murdered in Gauteng. which occurred dating back as far as 2021. I'm not going to mention them, but we have them on record. Maybe let me pause on that one and come back into what had happened prior to us receiving the results from the task team, ballistic test result. On the 6th of December 2024, the task team visited the premises of the two of the high-profile syndicate, of which one, Mr. Katiso Molefe, was arrested for the murder of Mr. Swart of QTech. During that arrest, an unusual activities were observed whilst the team were busy with the operation. These activities included a dispatching of members of the South African Police Service under the command of a senior manager at the head office to go and interrupt the operation that was unfolding. On the 26th of June 2025, the accused, Katiso KT Molefe, who was arrested by the very same task team, was granted bail. Guess that one went under the radar.
The applicant is released on bail.
The work of the organized crime in Gauteng, supported by the political killings task team, has indeed been compromised. And I can confirm before the South Africans today that the investigation which these members were involved with in Gauteng has unmasked the syndicate. And this syndicate involves, amongst others, politicians who are currently serving in parliament. The law enforcement officers include the members of the South African Police Service, the Metro Police, and correctional services. They include prosecutors in Gauteng province, the judiciary, and all these are controlled by the drug cartel as well as business people in that province of Gauteng.
Another thread involved the death of Don Tindleni, shot in his BMW 5 Series on the N1 near the M17 off-ramp in March 2023, with firearms matching those from the other cases. Police seized 4 weapons during arrests, an AK-47 and 3 pistols, positively tying them to 10 serious crimes, 4 of which directly involved these entertainment and business figures. Behind Molife's polished exterior lies a history marked by legal troubles. In 2004, a UK court convicted him of possessing cannabis under the alias David Tebogo Lebitsa, resulting in a 20-year ban from entering the country that ended in 2024. This past conviction, revealed during bail proceedings, added layers to his profile as someone accustomed to operating in grey areas. Molefe, who claims a monthly income of 200,000 rand from legitimate ventures, owns properties including a 3 million rand home in Winchester Hills shared with his estranged wife and a 17 million rand residence in Sandhurst where he lives with 3 sons. He drives luxury vehicles like a Mercedes SL 600 worth 400,000 rand and a 2023 Range Rover valued at 1.2 million rand, though he recently sold a V-Class Mercedes to cover legal fees and bail costs. With 9 children in total, including 1 daughter in Abu Dhabi with whom he shares a distant bond, Molefe argues strong family and community ties in Gauteng and the Free State make him unlikely to flee. Court appearances have highlighted Molefe's defenses and the state's opposition. During a hearing in the Alexandra Magistrates Court on Wednesday, Molefe appeared in leg chains, denying any connection to the nicknames in the WhatsApp logs or knowledge of the co-accused, Michael Puletau, a 55-year-old former police detective, Musa Gegana, aged 35, and Tleko Floyd Mabusela, aged 47. These 3 chose not to seek bail and skipped the session. Molefe pointed to his prior release on 100,000 rand bail by the Gauteng High Court in Pretoria on the 27th of June 2025, in the Swart case, overturned from a lower court's denial by Deputy Judge President Aubrey Letwaba.
The applicant is released on bail.
He emphasized compliance with conditions, surrendering his passport expiring on the 7th of July 2032, and limited international travel to Hong Kong, China, and Swaziland in recent years. Molefe, a former teacher, just like his secret friend and equally controversial Patriotic Alliance Deputy President, Kenny Gunene, who is also a former teacher, insisted he poses no flight risk, with no prior South African convictions and a commitment to face trial, pleading not guilty due to what he calls a weak case.
I would not have been given bail on appeal if the state had demonstrated a risk of my fleeing. Nothing has changed with regard to my personal circumstances. I was arrested at home. It is alleged that I'm dangerous and witnesses fear for their lives. There is no content to this allegation for me to deal with. I do have a previous conviction for the importation of cannabis into the United Kingdom more than 20 years ago, for which I was incarcerated and subsequently deported to the RSA and barred from entering into the UK. I committed that crime 20 years ago using an alias, David Lebitsa, and I was using a Lesotho passport.
The state countered by presenting evidence of Molefe's alleged efforts to dispose of a cell phone and SIM card in October last year, following court mentions of his communications with Tau, suggesting attempts to erase traces. Prosecutors highlighted unidentified cash deposits in his bank statements, implying sources beyond his declared businesses, and noted that the investigating officer, under 24-hour protection, along with the team, required bodyguards due to potential threats. They portrayed Molefe as deeply embedded in drug trades, with the killings of DJ Sumbody and DJ Vintos arising from conflicts in that arena. The bail hearing postponed to the 14th of August allowed further affidavits, while Molefe complained of poor consulting facilities at KwaZulu-Natal prison, describing dim lighting in the old Pretoria Central section. This saga ties into broader Underworld dynamics, including the elusive Big Five syndicate furious over the KwaZulu-Natal drug shipments disappearance and resale in Johannesburg at cut rates. DJ Sumbody's involvement reportedly began when approached for help in moving the goods, escalating into a deadly rivalry that claimed lives like those of rapper Sandile, DJ City Lights, Mkhwanazi, and artist Tuleni, Heavy Pablo, Msimango, all linked to similar disputes. His business ambitions, such as expanding IPIP to Menlyn, led him to seek funding from figures like one late taxi boss, as well as Joe Sibanyoni, who is also a taxi boss, and is known as Joe Ferrari, who hosted events drawing in associates like Sunkia DJ Vintos Mugubung. DJ Vintos, owner of Hawaii Lifestyle Pub in Tshwane and collaborator on tracks like Ngwana Daddy, survived a January 2024 shooting, hit by 2 bullets and hospitalized for 3 weeks. He recounted a spiritual encounter with DJ Sumbody's image, dressed in black and blue, seemingly protecting him and urging forgiveness for the attackers, believed to target Sumbody's circle. Molefe's charges encompass 4 counts of conspiracy to commit murder, 4 murder counts, and possession of unlicensed firearms and ammunition, with the Swart case still pending. His co-accused face similar accusations, and while Molefe distances himself, the digital and financial evidence forms a tight net. The firearms links to multiple cases underscore a pattern of organized hits, with police spokesperson Brigadier Atshenda Matse confirming the connections. Molefe's insistence on bail, citing family responsibilities and no intent to live as a fugitive, clashes with the state's view of him as a threat with far-reaching influence, possibly even into judicial circles, as seen in criticisms of Judge Letwaba's decisions amid past controversies over sealed CR-17 documents and accusations during his 2021 Judicial Service Commission interview. The narrative extends to Molefe's arrest on the 21st of July 2025 at his home, where he cooperated, further arguing against flight risk claims. Yet, the state's affidavit stresses his danger, with witnesses potentially at risk if released. This case reveals the intricate intersections of music, business, and hidden trades in South Africa, where ambitions collide with ruthless enforcements, leaving families shattered and communities wary. As details emerge, they highlight how one man's alleged empire built on shadows could unravel through the persistence of digital footprints and forensic science. Who do you think are the members of the Big Five, a drug cartel that is said to be behind the murder of DJ Sumbody and others? Thank you for watching this news video. We'd love to hear what you think about this story, so please leave your comments below. We read them all and appreciate your insights. Join us again in our next strange story. Until then, goodbye.